Welcome to today's lesson on the photosynthetic reaction, where we will explore how photosynthetic organisms, including plants and algae, produce food and biomass from sunlight through the process of photosynthesis. In our lesson, we will discuss the central role of photosynthetic organisms as the main producers of food and biomass in all food webs and food chains. We will examine the process of photosynthesis, learning its definition, the equation for photosynthesis, and the chemical symbols for the compounds involved in the reaction. Additionally, we will understand why photosynthesis is described as an endothermic reaction. To understand why photosynthetic organisms like plants and algae are so crucial to life on Earth, we'll need to dive into the process of photosynthesis. This process allows these organisms to produce their own food, and in turn, supply energy to the entire ecosystem. Let's break it down step by step. Photosynthesis is a biochemical reaction that occurs in the chloroplasts of plant cells. In photosynthesis, plants convert light energy from the sun into chemical energy stored in glucose, a type of sugar. This process not only produces food for the plant in the form of glucose, but also releases oxygen into the atmosphere, which is crucial for the survival of many living organisms. Photosynthesis occurs in the chloroplasts of plant cells. Chloroplasts contain a pigment called chlorophyll, which is essential for this process. Chlorophyll is what gives plants their green color and provides energy input required for photosynthesis by absorbing light energy from the sun. During photosynthesis, the plant transfers light energy absorbed by chlorophyll to convert carbon dioxide and water into glucose and oxygen gas. The overall equation for photosynthesis can be represented as carbon dioxide plus water becomes glucose plus oxygen, requiring light energy to occur. This equation can also be written using the following chemical equation. 6CO2 plus 6H2O becomes C6H12O6 plus 6O2. Note that there is a coefficient of 6 in front of the carbon dioxide, water, and oxygen. This is to ensure the equation is balanced. If you're unsure why this is the case, make sure to watch our chemistry lesson on balancing equations, which covers this in detail. Here's what each term in this equation means in photosynthesis. Carbon dioxide is taken from the air. Water is absorbed from the soil through roots. Light energy, usually from the sun, drives the reaction. Glucose is produced and used as food by the plant. Oxygen is released into the air as a byproduct. Photosynthesis is described as an endothermic reaction because it requires an input of energy to occur. In this case, the energy comes from light. Unlike exothermic reactions, which release energy, endothermic reactions absorb energy from their surroundings. During photosynthesis, light energy is captured by chlorophyll and used to convert carbon dioxide and water into glucose and oxygen. This absorbed light energy is converted into chemical energy stores within the bonds of glucose molecules. Without this input of energy, the reaction would not occur. Photosynthetic organisms are often referred to as primary producers because they form the base of all food webs and food chains. They produce the biomass that other organisms, such as herbivores and omnivores, rely on for food. The glucose produced during photosynthesis is used by the plant for various functions like growth, storage, and cellular respiration. This accumulated biomass serves as food for other organisms. To summarize, photosynthesis is the process by which plants make their food. It occurs in the chloroplasts, which contains chlorophyll that absorbs light energy from the sun, converting this light energy into chemical energy in the form of glucose. The chemical equation for photosynthesis is carbon dioxide plus water becomes glucose and oxygen in the presence of light. This process is endothermic, requiring light energy to convert carbon dioxide and water into glucose and oxygen. By understanding the photosynthetic reaction, we gain insight into how plants produce their food and the critical role this process plays in the Earth's ecosystem, including producing oxygen necessary for aerobic organisms and providing the basis of the food chain. This foundational knowledge sets the stage for further exploration of topics such as plant physiology, energy flow in ecosystems, and the impact of environmental factors on photosynthesis.